My name is Kosmala. I'm the Vice President for Quintiq. I'm responsible for managing Quintiq operations in Asia Pacific, and I'm based in KL. It is a really interesting question. It's what we are seeing is we're seeing fragmentation of supply chains, partially because our capacity to produce things is shifting around the region. It's moving from China to smaller economies within the region, and our trade patterns are changing as well. We are moving away from Asia to Europe trade, Asia to North America exclusively, and we're moving to South-South trade, where we're trading with Africa and South America more frequently, and also intra-region. I think they will represent challenge both for business managers as well for the supply chain managers. They will need to be more agile because we'll be responding to fragmentation of demand that comes with serving different economies. And that means that the supply chain, by default, will be probably fragmenting as well with it, which means more moving pieces, more needs to collaborate, more needs for visibility of the supply chain, and probably qualification of the people will have to increase as well, people working with supply chains. For supply chain practitioners, I think that's a big career opportunity, big career growth opportunity. A complex supply chains require coordination, understanding of the signals that come from the chain, interpretation of those signals. That is much more than your typical warehouse operations manager role that may be a role of the past. That will all change. Our supply chains are becoming more and more complex, therefore the roles with it are becoming more complex. That's good news for the practitioners. I think it's a fragmentation of the manufacturing capability across the region. We're now not looking at exclusively sending everything for manufacturing in China. We are now moving because of the labor, increase in cost of labor in China, decrease in efficiency of the transportation networks. We're moving plants, distributing them throughout the region. The free trade between ASEAN countries is going to provide additional opportunities to distribute manufacturing even further. Therefore, the challenge will be how to operate a supply chain across the region that is actually as transparent as possible and as agile as possible without worrying about the borders between the countries. The free trade, the Trans-Pacific Free Trade Agreement is going to help, but in the meantime we have to figure out what to do in ASEAN in 2015. So that's the first challenge, is that distribution of manufacturing capability. With it comes logistics. Our logistics still are efficient intra-country or between continents. We have to think how to enable logistics for the supply chains that are running intra-Asia. We need infrastructure, highways, railways, train connections, air connections, and we need better regulation that allows free flow of goods and practices across the borders. And the third one is the demand. We're dealing with economies now where the demand fragments a lot, and that means that the supply chain has to be very responsive to the demand. At this moment, we separated those two functions. We have demand managers and we have supply managers. I think you will see a challenge of combining those two and kind of running them as one, because the balancing of the demand and supply in a fragmented situation on both ends is really going to be critical to the success of the enterprises. We believe that the era of ERP and business intelligence running on a big sets of data, it is probably not going to be sufficient for increasing agility of the supply chains and dealing with the fragmented demand. You really need optimization. Optimization tools that run in conjunctions with ERP systems and business intelligence. We believe that our product is pretty much a must if you would like to increase the sophistication of your company and become more responsive in this very competitive environment. The event is very interesting. We discovered this last year, and I think this year is a repetition of the same pattern. People are very interested. They encountered new challenges over the last 9 months since the last event. And they're very keen to gain additional knowledge and understanding and share the ideas. I have not heard the same questions that I heard last year, this year. So that tells me that either there is a brand new group of people or the people actually became a little bit more sophisticated, therefore they have now some more sophisticated questions as well.